What advice? Well, how long did it take you to get to the point where you're at now?
Like deals wise?
Deals wise, experience.
I mean, I did 25 my first year.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So that's the problem. I did a lot my first year.
Okay.
But I worked every day. I used to do double open houses every day. I paid a coach $3,000. No. What did I pay him? I paid him $1,000, something more money than I had at the time. I had to put it on a credit card. I was coaching before I even got my real estate license.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I was already prepared when I got in the industry. Like I try to tell agents now, like, oh, I'm taking my classes. Okay, start getting ready now. Start watching YouTube videos. Start training.
Start learning the contract.
The moment you go in, you should be ready to go. So I would say I've had kind of a few big jumps in my career. My first year, obviously, that was big. Then I followed up. I was happy that I followed up with even a bigger year my second year, which was cool. But I don't think I'm at where I am now until I went to my last brokerage. And the reason I say that, I mean, every one I've taken little pieces from. Like I learned a lot at Signature. I learned a lot at Side, to be honest. I took a lot of things from them. But now I'm just around so many mega producers and top people that are around my age group that I can tap into so easily. Like right now we're having a problem with running Indeed ads. We kept getting kicked off. Indeed kept shutting us down. So we literally put in our Facebook group, who runs Indeed ads? We keep getting booted. How do we fix this problem? Okay. And then Kyle Whistle wrote immediately and was like, hey, this is don't put this in here. Don't put this in. Don't put it in. Do it from this account. Do that. And he's like, and now it works. So it's like the quicker I can learn and not trying to learn on my own, the faster I'm going to get results.
Right. So having a great network.
A network, yes.
Helps out tremendously.
The issue that agents don't get is at EXP, I'm not promoting EXP, I'm just saying how it is. It's like I'm in their downline. So the more money I make and the more money I recruit, they get a small piece of it. So they have a reason. They're motivated to coach me or they're motivated to help me. The problem is too many agents want to even now, agents will hit me up. Hey man, how do you do this? How do you do that? Listen, dude, I'm sorry, but I'm at a point where I'm too busy. You don't work for me. I'm not making anything off of you. You can watch my YouTube videos, you can hop on my Zoom calls, but outside of that, that's all you're gonna get.
There's a lot of resources out there for agents, but they don't take advantage of it.
Well, agree.
And there's a lot of free resources
because there's too much.
Them.
There's too much.
Right?
It's too much.
So what advice would you give a newer agent less than 3 years in the business to grow their business?
I would say go back to see
or to get them to that 100K.
I would say go back and see where your deals have come from, and if it's less than 12, then that's just luck, to be honest. Okay. And then you got to go somewhere that's going to motivate you to work every single day. Same thing with when people are like, "Oh, I want to do video." Okay, well, if you want to do video, if you don't work around people that do video all the time, you're not going to do the video.
Right.
You're just not. Right. You're not set up. It's like people go we had an argument why do we have to always have the podcast stuff set up? Because it forces me to do podcasts.
Right.
If I had to set it up every time I did it,
I wouldn't do it. Right.
So make it as easy as possible to do the things that you want to do. I always okay, I know I need to be doing this. Why am I not doing it? Is it money? Is it I need to pay for something? I need to do this. I need to do that. Something, right?
Right.
Okay, then I just buy it. Or I hire someone. We do way more content now that I've had Adrian, how long have you been? 5 years now? 4? What's that? 2018. Anyway, before I had Adrian, I would shoot content, but I didn't shoot it as enough because I was embarrassed and it wasn't good enough. Same thing with all this podcast stuff. People were like, how do you do so many podcasts? I don't edit this stuff.
Right.
I know how to, but if I had that one more thing on my plate, I wouldn't do it.
But it takes a lot of time to edit.
It takes a lot of time.
It's bad use of your time.
Exactly. So I would say if you are where you are right now and you haven't made any changes, go make some drastic change. Just go make it.
Make some changes and commit.
And commit to it.
Right.
And I think the other thing, let me ask you this question while we wrap this up. Do you feel like the problem is if someone switches and they also fail, then they have to admit that it's them and not everyone else?
I think the problem is they won't admit that it's them.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah.
Right. They won't admit.
That
People
it's them?
They have too much pride.
Yeah.
And they won't self-analyze to determine that they're the root of the problem or that they're a big procrastinator, right? Whatever the issue may be, they won't acknowledge it. The minute that you're truthful with yourself, you recognize your weaknesses and your strengths and then play towards your strengths, you're going to be successful.
The hard part is I don't know if so many people have...
But you have to have You have to acknowledge that.
You have to be motivated in the aspect, like I posted something yesterday on Instagram. It was like, how do you show up when you're not getting the results? That is what will make you successful.
Right.
Like in 22, I only did like 10 deals.
But
my
look,
lowest year ever. And I showed up every day.
2024, this year is a rough year, right? There's weeks where I don't get any leads,
Yeah.
right? But I got to continue to show up to make my phone calls because eventually
it'll roll back over.
They're going to come back.
It's all about survival.
Right? And I also have to be the beacon of light.
Yeah.
If my agents see me struggling or complain or be negative, they're going to see that. They're like, okay, I don't want to work with this guy.
That's the thing. It's almost like we were talking about that's another thing. We have a lot of we're always talking about this stuff all the time. It's like you can't say there's no deals out there because there are deals out there.
There's deals.
Yes,
there's deals.
there are deals.
You got to work.
We're still closing. I check numbers every Monday in Riverside. We're still closing roughly 40 to 60 houses every single week.
Right.
And we've been closing the same amount of houses every single week for the last 2-3 years.
You know what's funny is
so they're out there.
I meet with agents all the time, right? And they ask for my help. So they come in.
Which why are they asking you? Can you answer that? Why are they asking? If you were so good at doing deals, you'd be a real estate agent.
Right.
You would, like, if you were so good at it, you would be doing it yourself.
But you don't want me as your competition because I will crush it as an agent.
You probably would. You probably would.
Why? Because of my work ethic and my consistency.
100%.
That's it. That's it. That's 100%. What it comes down to.
You probably would.
But I talk to agents all the time. And the first thing I ask them is, run me by your day. What do you do all day to get business? And they stumble.
Because they don't know.
They don't have the answer, right? So it's about structure, discipline, and daily money-making activities, right? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I think they underestimate how much work it is.
Right. And if you're persistent and put in the work, you're going to be successful.
Well, even like that